Commissioner Taylor, gosh, I almost said Commissioner Corn. Commissioner Taylor, would you please lead us in honoring this great nation? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Bilberry, would you lead us in a word of prayer?
Father, we come to you this morning and we thank you, Lord, for this day, and we thank you for blessing us with this beautiful bunch of people in this county and what we do here. Father, we just ask that you give us wisdom and favor and understanding of what decisions that we make today in order to represent you. We thank you for your son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Commissioner. Miss Cindy Fuller, your first official county commission meeting as our county clerk. Do we have a quorum today?
Mr. Commissioner, we do have a quorum.
All right. All right. Election of officers.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Dana.
I would like to make a motion and move that we continue with Commissioner Cavan as chairman and Commissioner Bilberry as vice chairman.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Ezell for Will Cavan and to continue as chair, and Jeff Bilberry to continue as vice chair. Any discussion or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Mr. Chairman, as you're aware, each year the Board of Commissioners are appointed to serve on standing committees, and I'd like to work with you in the next couple of weeks to establish those committees, return those for approval next month, if that's acceptable.
Bill, thank you. I think we've got a head start on that, so we'll get that to you and have that ready for our next meeting. Thank you. Approval of minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Bilberry and a second by Commissioner Zell to approve the December 17th, 2020 minutes of the Chaves County Board of Commissioners. Any questions or discussions?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to note that the minutes were very thorough, made for a lot of reading.
That's a good thing, huh?
Yes, it is.
All right. Any big mistakes in there?
None that I could find. It needs to be larger font for those of us that.
What was that big word you just used?
Font.
Okay, oh, bigger font. I thought you said recon or something like that.
Bigger font for those of us that are
Visually challenged.
Okay. You got that memo? Okay, thanks, Cindy. All right, any other questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. All right, real quick, commissioners, gosh, our finance department just keeps hitting the ball out of the park and getting all these awards and everything. So the Chaves County Finance Department has been awarded the, what's that one, for the year 2019 County Audit and Accountability Award. They are one of only 5 in the state of New Mexico to win this award. Mexico counties and the state, and the Office of the State Auditor, gotta take this off. Select counties that prove their dedication to ethical financial practices that safeguard public assets. Criteria include outstanding work on audits, submitting audits in a timely manner, and having sustained excellence with high audit opinions. The winners of the fiscal year 2019 Audit and Accountability Awards will be recognized by the New Mexico counties this morning during the closing session of the 2021 New Mexico Counties Legislative Conference. So obviously, since we can't be in Santa Fe for this meeting, as we normally are, to watch our finance crew go up and get these awards and get a lot of accolades. We're gonna have that presentation here at the Chatham County Board of Commission meeting. So just congratulations to you guys, all the hard work. I know the folks that is not here. Annabelle, you come up and receive this award for the finance department.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Up there in the middle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you. Thank you. This is, of course, thanks to all the department heads as well for cooperating with finance. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
congratulations. All right, commissioners, we got a few folks here in the audience that I'd like to have do some presentations to us real quick, just to kind of give us some updates on different things as we kick off 2021 here in this month of January. So first up, I'd like to have Jimmy Masters with the New Mexico Health Department come give us an update on where we're at with testing and vaccines and a bunch of these other things that are going on with COVID. So Jimmy Masters,
All right,
fire away.
all right, thank you, Commissioner Kevin, and good morning, Commissioners. So right now, what we're seeing, as y'all know, we're still, of course, nationwide, statewide in the midst of COVID, and right now we're looking from testing to vaccination phase at this point. But going back to the testing, we are still currently actively testing at our public health offices, not just in here in Chaves County, but in all of our other 7 counties in the region. And so what we're seeing is we've actually seen a drop in some numbers in testing, and I'm not sure why we're seeing, and this is statewide, not sure why we're seeing a drop in numbers. I can only, just assume complacency or maybe burnout, whatever it may be. But we are still here in Roswell. We are currently looking at, I think on average, we've seen anywhere from 45 to sometimes 80 tests. Once in a while, we may see 100 tests on a daily basis, but that has not necessarily been the case. So it's usually between 40 and I would say sometimes to 80. And we still, right now, we're using a new system called Curative. So we're not using the state lab anymore. As of early December, we started using this new company called Curative, which is it is still a PCR test, but it's oral. It's an oral test that the person can use themselves. But to make sure that we get a decent test, people still have to, you have to use it or swab your mouth for about 20 seconds, the cheeks, the tongue, the upper part of your mouth. So we are actually getting some decent results out of it. It's not so invasive like the nasal swabs we're getting. If any of y'all have had that before, it's not very comfortable. I've had it myself, but our testing, like I said, has actually seen a decrease. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to maneuver more into the vaccination side of it, and we're talking to community partners to see about if there's an opportunity to take on testing for public health, like one of our partners being pathology consultants. In fact, there was a meeting last week with one of the governor's liaisons, Caroline Burkle, who was talking about, we need to, continue doing testing in Chaves County. And, what I talked to Ms. Burkle kind of on the side was that, public health, we usually are asked quite a bit to do vaccinating and or testing. I said, but unfortunately, public health can't be everything for everyone. So if we can work with our community partners, like pathology consultants who have seen a drastic decline where in the beginning, their testing was just enormous. They had a huge clientele. So we are meeting with them today to see about if pathology is able to take on some of that testing for us. That way we can gear up for vaccination. We've done some vaccination pods, mini pods in our office. Right now, we're still working through these phases that have been enacted by the department. So right now, we're in what's called the Phase 1B. Phase 1A being healthcare, first responders, we're still seeing some of that bleed over into the Phase 1B, which to me, I think that's gonna happen anyway, no matter what, nothing's ever perfect. But that's really what we're trying to gear up for right now. But, as far as the testing, as I mentioned, we are seeing just lower numbers. And I think we have seen lower numbers. I don't want to say necessarily since we've taken on the curative testing, the oral swab. I think we've just seen a decline in general, but it's been statewide. So we're not just the only community that's seeing that right now. But like I said, we're trying to move from a testing to a vaccination mode at this point in time. But I would, if there's any questions, please feel free to ask.
Commissioners, I know that we all have questions for Jimmy, and I'm sure that Commissioner Dana's chomping at the bit to.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Jimmy. It's been a while since I've seen you.
Commissioner.
I know you've been busy. On the testing, yours goes into the state website when you test somebody.
That is correct.
Okay, when you test a person or another provider, because I know there's been several places, do they also have to put their information into the state website?
Are you talking about like using the curative or any other testing?
Any other test?
It usually, as far as I know, it all goes into the same database.
Okay, which
Yes.
is state?
That's correct.
Okay.
Primarily, it's the state.
Okay. If a person tests positive and then they have to go back and get another test in order to go back to work or whatever, and they have a negative, does the positive go into the system and then the negative go into the system for the same person?
I don't want to say yes or no because I'm not sure on that end of it because I know that's more of a question I think would be for our Epic Response Division. Usually what we get are just the results. That's usually what we get in the long run. And I totally understand what you're definitely asking on that because we've had that question many times as well, that we've always have to refer to ERD for that. And yeah, because I wonder if some people were asked, are people being entered, 2 times? Are they entered? How many multiple times are they entered? And this is what we've heard a lot of too. So that's definitely a question I can take back to ERD.
And that's our concern, especially for a county that keeps, the state keeps telling us we need to move from red or whatever, but how can we move if people are having to get tested multiple times?
Right.
And the numbers, the numbers are just numbers. It's not, okay, a person moved from positive to negative or had to be tested multiple times.
Right.
Are we using those numbers to help us get out of the situation that we're in as a county? Or, it just seems like the numbers are kind of being used against us.
Right.
So that's why we were kind of asking, how do we move to the next level if we're just going over and over and over repetitively?
I totally understand, Commissioner, because we see the numbers, we get those, if y'all see those testing metric maps.
Yes.
I'm always doing a comparison, which I will say luckily I've seen a decrease with this last one from the last, 2 weeks ago? We've actually seen a decrease. In fact, I've seen a lot of counties decrease as well. It's a slow incremental decrease. But, I guess it's not fast enough, I guess. And some people, that's what, I think that's all the other questions from other folks I've heard. Well, it's not really moving fast enough. But
Right.
yeah, sometimes any of that, sometimes we have to question the numbers as well.
Right.
Because we try to do as much testing as we can within the county. It's just, we're not seeing that change happening fast. I know we've seen some counties that have turned yellow and green. But I always have to remind people, when you see green counties, you have to think about the population. There's not very many people, let's say Harding County. There's not a lot of people in Harding County. The population's not huge, so.
Hundreds.
Yeah, I'll just, and I would even say like the Baca County, even Fort Sumner, we look at small numbers, look at the small numbers data, you can have, and I always, I shouldn't always make a joke about it, but I'm saying, but you could be green, but if you're in a small populated county, even a couple of them makes a big difference, a couple positives makes a big difference. And so, I wish I had more to add on, how we can move down faster to that, at least yellow to green category.
And thank you for taking our concerns back.
Absolutely.
Because I know our office here, and I've worked with y'all many times when I was with the Red Cross, and I know our office here works and tries to do what they can do, but
Sure.
you can only do so much with the state, and I commend you for that. Also on the vaccines, now are you working with providers, or are the vaccines coming straight to your office and then you're trying to disperse, or how is that working?
So right now, the way it's working is that we do have a number of providers in the communities. And so right now, hospital being one of them, now they have been doing a little bit more. So they started off doing just the healthcare workers, first responders. They started off with their folks first, their internal staff, and then they were working on to first responders and so on, EMTs. And so and I tell everyone every county is a little different, because sometimes we have in some counties where, let's say Lee County, for instance, Norley Hospital has been the main driving force for vaccine in that county, or Clovis is a pharmacy. But having multiple providers is sometimes it's very helpful to have all these other partners to help with that. And right now for us, so we just barely got our ultra low temp freezer installed, so thank you to county for helping out with that. So we had to monitor it for 5 days before we can actually take in or store vaccine. The thing with the vaccine one is once you get it, because we have it drop shipped to us, so once we get it drop shipped, we have about 5 days to get it out. And then once you tap into one vial, you have 6 hours to use up what's in that one vial. So there's always some time constraints, whereas with the ultra low temp freezer, we can store vaccine for a certain number of days and not have to worry about those huge time constraints that we've been having. So with that, having other providers, we do have a physician here in Roswell who's also wanting to to be a vaccine provider as well. And then we also have the pharmacies like Walmart, Sam's. I'm not sure about Albertsons. We've actually asked this morning, we actually asked for a list of all vaccine providers around the state, but specifically we wanted to get some for our region as well to see who all is providing vaccine. And then the other part too is, part of the vaccine planning, we don't want to step on everyone's toes. I think it's about more of a coordinated effort as to who's vaccinating who. If schools are being vaccinated here and here and here, I don't know. I think it would be better to have a little bit more of a coordinated effort to make sure we're just not scrambling all over one another.
Well, on that note, then, so like Eastern received theirs, did it go straight to Eastern, or did it go through you?
No, it went straight to Eastern.
Okay, so do they notify you that they're dispersing these? Or
Usually-
how in the world would you know? I mean,
Yeah,
it seems like there does need to be a coordinated effort, so like you said,
Correct.
if you say we need 65,000, we don't, because
Right.
all the other providers have already started theirs.
That's correct. So usually we have to ask who's been getting what. We know they're getting it, but sometimes we don't always know how much they're getting unless, like here, Warren Yell over at Eastern usually keeps us posted on what they're getting. We have weekly meetings, and so he keeps us posted on what they're getting. But that's not the case with a lot of providers. So that's why we're saying, it'd be nice to have a list of who's all the providers, but getting back to the coordinated effort, how much vaccine is being sent out.
Right.
Right. And I just want to add one more thing. So I know with the vaccine, there's not really a lot of vaccine that's coming to the state. It's coming in, just small numbers. It's not, small is like 12,000 or somewhat. Depends on which one it is. So it could be, right now, we and the hospitals, like public health and hospitals, use the Pfizer, and the pharmacies are using Moderna. We did get word that there could be later on down the road, maybe late February, Johnson & Johnson is supposed to be coming out with one, but they're a 1 dose. But right now, the Moderna and the Pfizer are all 2 dose vaccines.
Interesting.
It is.
Well, thank you again. I
Sure.
really appreciate you coming here. 'Cause
Absolutely.
We've been asking for a while.
Yeah.
To have someone come and
Sure.
update us, because that way when we get calls from our constituents, we have answers too.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Commissioners, anybody else? Commissioner Bill Barrett.
Jimmy, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. One of the things that I get asked about is the accountability to these numbers, because these numbers are what's driving our economic businesses here in this county, the schools, the businesses, and that's what's closing businesses and closing schools. So where's the accountability in these numbers? Who's going back and saying, these numbers are really correct? Or are we just making numbers up as we go? I mean, I get all kinds of weird questions
Sure.
like you do, but we need some accountability here, some backup, because it's so important to our economic
Correct.
business here in this county.
Absolutely. So that would be going back to like Commissioner Dana's question earlier, I think we've been having to send some questions up to ERD to help us with those numbers to say, one, how are the numbers, we're looking at the daily numbers.
Right.
So we get the news releases every day. So that's some of the questions we always have, because this isn't the only community, of course, that's asking as well. We have a lot of communities are asking the same questions. So that was definitely another question I will send back to ERD as well. It's like, how do we, how can we be more accountable with these numbers? Because people do keep track, and I'm glad that people are keeping track of what's being sent out daily. So that would definitely be a question I can send back to ERD.
Is there some outside entity that could help with that could come in and help track those numbers too? And
This is one of those, because I figured on some of these questions, that's why I was hoping we would be able to get like one of our epidemiologists to come and help with that from Santa Fe, because I think that would definitely be a great question for them to be able to help answer how the numbers are being allocated. And you go back to the accountability, I do agree that, I think these closures has been, I say that it's been too long, because, and I go back to kind of what you're saying, because I've told my staff, I'm having a lot of concerns about fallout right now, and we're already seeing the fallout because of COVID. And we said, because COVID is here, and because we have to be accountable for those numbers, I said, we've got a lot of other public health issues that we're gonna have to deal with after all this is over.
well, we're past the pandemic now. I think we've got children that are having psychological problems. We've got people that are just
Yep.
depressed. We've got businesses that are going out of business, people in financial. So we've got to figure out, you can send those questions up there all day long.
Sir,
I'm not gonna give any answers.
I'm gonna work with them and see if we can get them down here to help with those questions.
I think it's awfully important to our economic health and
it is.
the health of our community here. I personally believe the drop in testing numbers because nobody has any faith in them.
Right.
And if everybody had some faith in what you were doing, they'd probably get on board, but nobody trusts what's going on.
Well,
And
that's
so-
probably been since the beginning. That's what we've seen probably since March, April.
Yeah.
And, I do agree that I think it's gonna, it goes back to it's a ripple effect. So what's happening with people, and this is how we kind of plug it in for public health, is that if businesses are closing, that means people are losing their job, possibly losing benefits, insurance. Without insurance, they can't get proper health care. They're gonna resort to other ways to, release stress through overeating, spending money they don't have, overspending credit cards if they have them. And that just kind of exacerbates everything. So we really wanted to put a correlation to that and connect those dots. Because I said, that's gonna be kind of like a hurricane. The only thing I can, relate it to is how a hurricane comes through, does its damage, and then you're left with the cleanup. And that's what we're gonna be seeing with all of this in the long run.
So what can we do as a commission to help you put pressure on those people to get some answers to what we need to do to get our county back open?
So the only thing I think of is going back to our ERD. I can talk, our Rapid Response Division. and see how these numbers are gonna help, one, drive down the numbers, but also how do we get back open? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, is to talk to our folks with epidemiology response.
Can you get them to come down here and talk to us?
Absolutely. I know y'all had some points in the past where y'all haven't been able to get folks from Santa Fe, from what I understand, is that correct? So we'll do whatever we can to see if we can get someone down here.
Soon?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Not in a month?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
Thank you very
welcome,
much.
Commissioner.
What is the process for moving from red to yellow?
You know, all we keep hearing is increased testing. Increased testing, increased testing. But again, if we're not, again, this is the thing we've told people, is that it's still voluntary.
No, what is the actual physical process
Oh, to get it open? To get businesses open?
to go from yellow, from red to yellow?
To yellow? Oh, you know, that's.
Who has the authority to say, okay,
That's a great
you are
question.
now yellow?
Well, I don't know, I would say, I don't know if it come from the secretary's office or it come from the governor's office.
See, it's not on paper anywhere.
Right, no, I agree with you. There is nothing, and there really is.
My
nothing in
answer for
writing.
moving from red to yellow is take the whole page of the Roswell Daily Record and say, don't get tested. If nobody gets tested, then
Then-
you're not gonna meet that gating criteria for being red.
Right,
I mean,
I understand, no.
they're not being fair with us.
Right, no, and I understand where you're coming from, because we've also, we've also thought the same things as well. So, no, I totally understand where you're coming from on that. Yeah, so, you know, I think that's a great question. I don't know.
Can you ask those questions, see what we can do?
See what we can do to get. from-
Get some answers to those
Yeah.
things?
I mean, the
Not just
state,
the yellow,
the state audits our finances.
Correct,
Why don't we get to audit their numbers?
right. Fair question. I think it's a fair question. I wish I had more to say on that side, but I know there's some things that are always a little bit higher than region. So I think that is a great question.
You're part of this community and we know that, and these questions are not at you, but we're asking for your help and asking how can we help you get those? And do we need to pass resolutions? Do we need to seek some kind of legal counsel? What do we need to do as a county to get to that point? I mean, it's gonna throw you under the bus, but
But I was.
Well, we're fine with that.
we'll pick you up if you come back out the other side.
It would not be my first time. So, I've got 9 lives, it's okay.
Okay.
So.
We'll make sure you're okay when you come out.
No. I'll be flatter than normal, or hopefully a little bit slimmer than normal, but that's okay.
But you see what we're asking?
I do.
Because if we don't get ahead of this, Jimmy, right now,
Sure.
there's citizens in this county are about to just come unraveled.
Mhm.
And we can't, Mike can attest to that.
Sure.
And you know that. I'm not telling you
Oh,
nothing you
yes.
already know. We're not even being proactive now. We need to be active. I mean, it's
Right.
time to act on this.
Right.
And we don't need to wait a week or 2 weeks to get some answers. We need, sometime day after tomorrow, we need to have some
Sure.
kind of call Bill and say, hey, we've got this going on and we need to have a special meeting or something.
Well, and I think perhaps with Caroline Burkle, that may be one of the questions we can ask of her. I know there were, I think Commissioner, you were on one of the calls last week.
Yeah, before that.
With Caroline, and I think that's, which, you know, I think she would probably be one of our, I don't know, probably one of our good resources, I would think, because she's directly linked to the governor's office.
But there was a lot of talk in a circle. It just kept going in a circle.
On that
You know,
day,
yeah. To me, it was just in a circle. There was
If we could get-
no answers to anything. And these questions we asked never
Yes.
came up, but,
because I think at the time it was only testing, which that's, you know, that was all we were focused on, is testing.
testing, and that's all everybody says, more testing.
Which my thing is, my personal opinion, I feel like we're done with testing. I said we need to be more vaccinating or doing something to get our folks back up and going in the community. I mean, I understand all too well, I'm from Eddy County, that is my home county, so I know all too well of a lot of the issues. And this is, I would say Chaves County, Eddy, Lee, we have a lot of counties that are in that same boat, not just them, but all over our southeast region in general.
There's, everybody in this room already knows there's people that's had the COVID that never went and got tested. They just dealt with it, moved on, either felt bad a day or two and moved on and quarantined themselves and did what they could.
Absolutely.
And so those tests will never be in the system, you know, and so, but there's a lot of people that's never had it. But from my background, herd immunity is kicking in.
Mhm.
And that's part of the reason a lot of these numbers are gonna go down.
Well, and this is one of the things we've been saying for a long time, even when this first came out, is that one, it's, again, we still have voluntary. It's up to the person if they want to get tested or not. We can't make people want to get tested. We said that in the very beginning. But the other thing is too, we know people were getting sick, didn't get tested. We know that, and some of them could either say it was COVID, it was the flu, we don't know because, they never went to the doctor, so we don't really know. And I can't even explain why we haven't seen flu, this is flu season. And so this is why one of our arguments has always been, just because COVID is here, doesn't mean we still don't have a lot of other public health issues. I mean, really, we still have flu, we still have communicable diseases, infectious diseases. My worry is because, we're also affected in public health because a lot of our services have come to a halt, which, our staff since March, April, that their whole focus has been COVID. And my feeling has been, it's been too long. I always say, I'm glad my staff keep coming back. I'm like, what keeps coming back? Because we keep doing COVID. So I'm glad for one, that they're resilient, they're diligent, they keep coming back. I keep coming back. I don't know how many other people have had breakdowns over it, because we know that's another issue that's going on. Suicide, depression, anxiety. So these are all the things we've seen. But, everything has still been test. And so I do actually understand, and I do hear what the commission is saying and what the community is saying as well. So I think, if there's a way we can get this, like you said, sooner, how do we get these numbers down? How do we get down to that 5% or less on that chart to get down to green? I do want to work, to get down to that as well.
I just think it's awfully important that we really work on that, because I think you're gonna find more people would be willing to go along and get tested and do things if they saw that we're gonna be able to open up and have some kind of normalcy in our life.
Absolutely.
Again, and you hear all the same thing we hear, and there's not one person in this room that's not under the gun because of this. We're all in this together. So,
Yes, everyone's been affected by it in some form or fashion, either directly or indirectly. I agree.
Commissioner Taylor, you have any comments?
Yes. Jimmy,
Yes, sir.
I echo the same comments that the other commissioners have made. I work with a lot of businesses, and I see the economic devastation. But even more so
Yes.
is the devastation to our children, not being educated.
Mhm.
They may have virtual education, but they're not being educated. And we have got to get open where our kids are being educated. But one of the questions I have for you now,
Yes, sir.
how many doses of the vaccine have we received in Chaves County, and how many people have received the vaccination?
I don't have the numbers in front of me because I know the hospital's also done some as well. I think even with our office right now, I would venture to say we've done maybe 500 so far just in public health. I'm not sure. I know the hospital's done a lot more.
Is this not coordinated through your office? Who's getting the vaccine?
If you're a vaccine provider, it will go, so if you want to be a vaccine provider, they would have to work through the department or through our immunization program to become a provider. So if they do get any vaccine right now, it would actually go straight to that provider. So it would be a hospital or a doctor or a pharmacy. But not through us, though, not locally.
Well, I think a lot of people are starting to wonder, how do I get vaccinated? I know my wife and I, we've gone onto the website and logged in, and all we get is,
Right.
thank you for that, you'll be contacted in the near future. Not sure what the near future is.
Right, well, so when you go in there, they'll put you in a form of a, I guess, what they call a queue. So they'll put you in a queue, but it will alert you when an event comes up. And so, and also I think it depends on probably what the phase is. So if you meet specific criteria within that particular phase, I believe those are some of the questions that they ask when you're registering.
It seems like there should be some accountability on the number of doses we've received in Chaffetz County and how many people have been vaccinated and what the criteria has been. I think people would like to see those
Absolutely.
numbers.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we do, so the numbers are collected also in Santa Fe, so we can get with the program, the immunization program, to get those numbers collectively throughout the county, including the hospitals and what the physicians are also receiving as well.
Have you had to throw any away?
No, thank God. No, we've made it just in time. So the thing is, what we talk about with the vaccine, one, we said we don't want to waste any vaccine. So we get everyone who we can that meet, within that particular phase or that population group. There's been times that we've had to last minute start calling, we've even called emergency management, hey, do you have anyone that you can send that fit this particular category and get them over here as soon as possible. We've even done it to where we've had 30 more minutes of getting 3 doses, which we've always made it right under the gun. I know that's been one of my scares, is we don't want to waste anything if we don't have to. I said, we shouldn't have to waste anything. So it's scary. It's not like flu. Flu vaccine is pretty simple.
Sure.
This one is a whole other ball of wax. That's why I'm hoping we get Johnson & Johnson pretty quick. It's 1 dose, that's it.
Well, Jimmy, thank you for being here. Sure. Kind of come to a close, and,
Thank you.
Commissioner Zell's question there, I know that
Yes.
Senator Jennings happened to show up at the end of the day back a week ago or so, and just kind of pulled up and had a number, but he helped you guys keep from losing a dose of the.
Yes,
the vaccine.
yes. Well, so what I will say, there's sometimes that, I told staff, I said, I don't care if it's Mr. Ed, whoever you can get, I said, we cannot waste any vaccine. And I know that was like I said, the very last minute, end of the day.
Better get it used than to
Yep.
waste it.
That's exactly how I feel. And what I'm hoping for, Commissioner, is that I wish they would just open it up. Eventually they will. Based on the timeline, it will be, I don't know, probably April, May, before they open it to the general public. So I know we've been down this road before.
Get more doses out there.
Yes,
So thank you, appreciate everything.
absolutely.
Let us know if you can get somebody in here.
Yes.
We will call for a special meeting just to have that meeting.
Okay,
I can say that, my wife got her vaccine yesterday because she's a teacher,
Yes.
went to the hospital, they were giving it out to the folks in the school district.
correct.
And then she's also had to put in, so they would send her one of the oral deals to take, like one. I'm not really quite sure about that process, but
Right,
now she may test positive because she's just had the vaccine, but it really doesn't matter. But I think really and truly the big question that I had when the state was pushing for us to get as many people out there to test is back to Commissioner Zell's deal.
yes,
Well, the premise was that the more testing we do, it's going to cause those numbers to go down. Well, I don't know how or who's doing that math, but the way the governor's criteria or gating deal is, how many people have it. I mean, we're running, I think on Christmas Eve, we had 293 or something like that.
yeah,
We had 400 cases in a 2-day period on
Right.
Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. So the Commissioner Zell is spot on to what a lot of people are thinking is why in the world are we going out and testing so that we can keep ramping the numbers up if the governor's criteria
correct.
is going to say that, you can't have more than 8 or 7 or something like that, so you can get into the yellow or get into the green.
Yeah,
And so I think those answers need to come from either the new Secretary of Health or Dr. Scares
Sure.
or Carolyn or somebody. And we appreciate you coming and speaking on behalf of the health department. We
absolutely.
know you've got a tough job here in Chavez County and But we appreciate everything you guys are doing. And hopefully you guys are getting things figured out with the regional health office out at the Air Center. And we look forward to keeping you guys here and however we can assist you in that.
Absolutely. We're not moving,
Calling us.
well, we're not moving out of the town, but, but we are gonna, yeah, be looking in the future
Well,
for a building.
thank you for your presentation.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, and we will
Thank you,
have some
Dennis.
follow-ups as well. And
Please,
so if there's anything else, I would be glad to come back for regular updates as well, so.
Please do.
please come back regularly.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, if I could interrupt you for just 1 second.
Oh, yeah, no, you're next.
Oh, okay.
I want you to introduce your new member of
Yes.
the sheriff's department, so that's why I was getting you to,
Yeah, get him back in.
because we got to get him back to work.
Yeah, he's very anxious, so he is, he's good, but we got some work to do. But, okay, I'm gonna have Gage come up in front here, and he can,
Sheriff, Gage is our new member, but who's his handler?
so Gage is, Gage Kennard is the handler, and where do we go here?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I'm Deputy Kennard, Jackson County Sheriff's Office, and this is our new canine right here. His name's Felix, spelled F-E-L-E-K. And we just got him just last week, did 2 weeks of training with him. He's just a full narcotics dog. And he's just constantly wants to work. He's a hard working dog, which is really good. That's what we need, so.
how old is he?
Hey, Gage,
Year and a half.
Between,
there you go. Come right in between those two, so we can-
Okay.
She's gonna pose you real fast.
Oh, okay.
right here?
He can jump.
9 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring him on this side, yeah. That way we can get the camera.
So his name actually means fate, F-A-T-E. So it's kind of interesting to see that because it's going to be your fate to meet him if you have drugs. So that's what's going to happen. We're very excited to have him, and Deputy Kennard has stepped up and taken on this role, and you can see we have some work to do, but we're very, very happy about it. So,
Thank you. Thank you, Sonny. Sonny.
Well, Mike, I want you to be sure and thank Ray Willis and all those that have stepped up to help with this project for the county and supply us with an added deputy to the force. It's greatly appreciated. And Deputy Kennard, you take care of that problem.
Yes, sir.
And the one thing that I did want to say is that he is sworn in. He does carry a commission card. He is a deputy sheriff. So that was very impressive to me that we were able to get that. Yeah, so, and if anybody wants to do any kind of harm to him or anything like that, they're charged with battery on a peace officer. So it's a good thing, and I sure do appreciate all of you, and I appreciate you letting us go do that. I'll cover that verification here shortly.
Mike, did Felix join the union?
Not yet. He's got to be here a year.
All right, great job, guys. Thank you so much. That'd be appreciated.
Thank you.
All right, Chamber, EDC, who wants to go first? Come on up, Ms. Andrea.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. We do have some news to report that I am now a paid staff member over at the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. The move was made last week when we had our executive board meeting. Nick Snowberger, who was the vice chairman, already had all of the motions ready to go as soon as I called the meeting to order. So I am now the president/CEO of the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, and Nick Snowberger is now our chairman of the board.
So they fired you as chairman?
They sure did. So we are now ready to move into our next phase. Over at the chamber, we have had one full quarter with me at the helm over there. So we have a good basis for our finances. We know what's going on. And we are building a budget for the second half of our fiscal year. So we know exactly what criteria we need to meet. We have a new treasurer, Don Munns, who is over at Dean Baldwin. He, in a previous life, he did financial consulting. So he's been very instrumental in helping with all of the next phase of the finance building and rebuilding. We are also getting ready to roll out a magazine over at the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. Instead of doing a monthly newsletter, we're going to do a quarterly magazine. It's called Roswell Now. Our first issue will roll out in March, and we are going to highlight our agriculture here in Chaves County, because traditionally we do our Rise with Roswell breakfast in March. Well, because of COVID, we're not able to meet in that kind of venue. So we figured what a perfect way to roll out our magazine than to highlight our dairies and our agricultural business. So we're really excited to get going on that. Our Shop Safe, Shop Local campaign during Christmas was a huge success. We highlighted businesses throughout the entire county, whether they were a member of the Chamber of Commerce or not, to help make sure we kept help them keep their doors open. And in fact, the feedback we have been getting back from the businesses that participated in our Shop Safe, Shop Local campaign said that they were actually very thankful. It helped them upsell for themselves. Because they were able to say, oh, wait a second, if you spend a couple extra dollars, you can enter this drawing. And Martin's Jeweler, in fact, had just moved out of the mall to their new location. And they said that with our Shop Safe, Shop Local campaign, it was very helpful because it helped not only advertise their new location, but they had their best December ever because of our help. So we're looking forward to expanding the Shop's Local campaign in some way going further and figuring out how we can continue to help our businesses. Because obviously without our businesses being open, then there's not really a reason for me to stick around to the chamber. And with that, are there any questions?
Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Sandra Moore?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to say thank you again, Andrea. Thank you for stepping up, and I'm glad the Shop Local. Because I'm working very hard to get people away from Amazon and online shopping, because that does not help our local businesses here in Chaves County. Also, when COVID hit and when we had lines at Walmart and stuff, I found other places to go, and it's local. And I call it creative shopping. You have to go to, there might be a business that has what you need. Or if they don't, come on, let's work with our local businesses. Let's get away from a lot of the online. I know there's a lot of online that we have to have sometimes, but if you're at a hardware store, Dexter Hardware had what I needed the other day. I went down to Dexter Hardware. I walked in there, rejected, because I said, I'm not going to order this online. Sure enough, they had what I needed. So it's like, if you'll just do a little bit of extra work, and sometimes you don't even have to go there, just call.
Absolutely.
And find out. But our local businesses are trying. And a lot of them will say, if I don't have it, let me do some research and see if I can get it in for you. And I just think it's so important, especially now, to make sure that our local businesses stay here, because we cannot afford to lose anymore.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm hearing, just like in Artesia, the people at Henry's Barbecue, they pulled it up. They said, we cannot stay in New Mexico with the economic disaster that we have going on, plus their kids are not going to school.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
pulled it up, they closed the doors, they sold their business, and they are in Texas now.
Yeah.
And how many other families, how many other businesses are we going to lose to another state because of this? So it's so important. So I thank you so much for you stepping up, the chamber stepping up. I watch your little live on Facebook all the time. I'm glad that you're getting information out there to people as to what the chamber, and I'm glad you're talking with our businesses and being the face of the chamber, going in and saying, how can we help you? What do you need from us? Because, like I said, everybody has to be so creative right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
including
with
businesses.
the state session opening yesterday or 2 days ago, we are also getting ready to post links on our social media and our websites to both the House and the Senate, stuff that is going on, links for all of the different representatives and state senators and committee meetings and all of that kind of stuff, so people can know what's going on at the state level. We're doing our best to do that also at the county and the city level for that information. I was talking with Jimmy to make sure that he's gonna push us more information, because I don't have enough time in the day to go and find all the information. If it gets sent to us, we're happy to post the links for where to go get vaccinated, where to go get tested, who to contact for all of these different things. I get updates from New Mexico Chamber, which used to be ACI, that gives us a lot of information for grants and small business loans, also to be able to help our local businesses. And I've done the same thing. Being at the chamber has actually been very wonderful for me. I forget to go down certain roads in town with children. You get in your little routine and I forget about those little gems of our locally owned businesses. And because of COVID, it has helped me think outside of the box as well and put my money where my mouth is and go, you know what, instead of going to Home Depot or to Walmart, why don't I take, a couple extra minutes and drive down or make a phone call and see who else has something that I'm looking for.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And thank you for keeping up, now more than ever, with Santa Fe and with Washington DC. Our businesses really need that link too.
Well, that's my wheelhouse and I love it, and
Yes.
I like that I'm able to share it now in a more public and general arena.
Good, thank you.
Commissioners, any other questions for Andrea? Andrea, I just want to say thank you, appreciate it. You've done a great job of lifting the chamber back up and, keep driving forward. Sorry you got fired as chairman, but congratulations on that.
I'm getting paid, so I'm a happy girl and I know my husband is too.
Yeah, so anyway, with that, thank you and
Thank
get
you.
after it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll give Elise just a moment. Mikey, come on down.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Commissioner Taylor, good to see you, and congratulations again on your election to this position. You'll continue to do great things for Travis County. So the things that we've all listened to this morning, that I've listened to and listened to Jimmy, I've not ever met Jimmy, but listened to the challenges that we have when it comes to COVID, reminds me of where we're at with economic development. Traditionally, in economic development, we're about job creation, bring in new business, create opportunity, create a stronger tax base, build business, but more importantly, create jobs. With COVID, we've shifted somewhat, obviously, and I think you know that by some of the past reports that were provided at these meetings. Our shift has been more towards taking care of our local businesses, because really that's the essence of who we are. They're already here. They've invested in our community. They've paid payroll. They pay taxes. They provide opportunity and resources for people, but also for goods and services that we all need as residents of this great county. And as a result, we have also shifted in being, like the chamber, a clearinghouse of information for local companies here in Roswell, Chaves County, so we can help support them with what they need. We've partnered with other organizations across our state so we can continue to provide that same information, and we push that out through our various sources as well. We relied heavily on social media. Our website was rechanged, and other forms of interactions with people across this county and also across our nation as it pertains to what we do in economic development. Just for information, in regards to how do we do that business retention and expansion program, we actually visit or call, because we can't actually get into a lot of businesses. But we contact businesses every day of the week. This past quarter, we saw over 224 businesses were contacted and visited with them, link them to the things they need so they can hopefully stay in business. One of the questions that Mr. Chairman, that Commissioner Dana had last month was how many businesses have closed in Chaves County? And there's quite a few. I would say, now let me rephrase that. There's probably less than 20 that we're aware of that we can get our hands on. But remarkably, we also had about 15 that have opened their doors as a new business in Chaves County. And I find that quite remarkable. Why is that? I believe in times of challenges like we have today, that entrepreneurial spirit really develops because people are saying, what can we do instead of relying on someone else? And that's where we come in. We also come in to help them with finding links to things like financing, buildings, land, things of that nature, incentives if possible through the state and so on, so they can continue down the road to create a business to help pay payroll, create jobs, create opportunities for people, more importantly, help pay those things that we all need to continue to serve this county. So I'm working with a company right now out of San Diego called me for the holidays, and anxious to see a change in a building that's been closed since COVID. That's going to be actually demolished, and then they're going to build a new retail space there. So I continue to see that, and what I think is more important for us in EDC is how can we continue to help people like that, companies like that, so they can move on and help support those job creation pieces. We currently have about 16 projects. Some of those, 7 of those, if you look at our reports that you see every month, about 7 of those are PROs from the state partnership. But the other 9 that we have on our books today are people, as I mentioned earlier, those entrepreneurs, people that are looking to do something to help make a difference. We're encouraged by that. And we're encouraged by that because of the opportunity to help increase our tax base. Some of those projects are moving on really well. I do want to share with you that Spring River Apartments, we've talked about them before. We know where they're at. You know, they were going to do phase 2. They held up. There's been some challenges. They did break ground on a retention pond, and middle of February, they intend on foundation piece. So be about 10 to 12 month build out, and it'll be open just in time for Ascend Aviation to get here. I visited via email the general manager, the president, yesterday. And in fact, I had a call with him and his financial partners this morning after this meeting to talk about how we continue to be of support to them. We continue to push out other opportunities to Ascent, companies like Ascent, in this case, of contractors to help support them. We have a lot of folks that call us and say, hey, we hear about this great project. How can we be part of that? I do this. Can you do this for us and link us? And we've done that. So whatever Ascent needs, hopefully they can consider those. And a lot of those, by the way, are local folks, which I think is very important. Lastly, I will share with you that we've changed the way we tell about our county to other people across the country. Because of COVID, we don't do sales missions right now because we can't travel. We can't go to a trade show and visit with companies because they're not having us virtually. So we've gone more toward online platforms with consultants. And I mentioned that in our reports, but also we had a couple last month. Today, Melissa from our office is not here because she's doing one of those with some consultants from California. So it's a way for us to tell our story to those people that are considering projects. We are finding, which I find interesting, that projects, by talking to these consultants, are actually growing in some sectors, obviously, especially in the food sector. Our county, because of the agricultural opportunities and resources that we have, really positions us well for consideration. A call that I had last week with a consultant, national consultant, is a gentleman that I've known for 15 years. He did not know how much there was going on in Roswell until we shared the story with him, as an example. Projects like Leprino Foods that have been here for a number of years, projects like that that help support our dairies and our growing, corn, cotton, all those pieces that help us become who we are. I'm finding that people don't know that we have those resources in Chaves County. So we are embarking on a different journey, and we've done that in concert with the state partnership, who has worked with a company to provide not just a magazine, but an actual New Mexico document that talks about New Mexico resources, and we're going to be in that. Of course, we're going to have to pay for it, and which we can, and we will, because that's to be published to 250,000 consultants, right to their doors, which I'm very pleased about, as well as us being able to provide that to the few folks that we already work with and that we know. We also are going to be doing some more videos, and I mentioned before that we did a video shoot, PBS video shoot with some gentleman, some actor named Lawrence Fishburne. You may have heard of that gentleman. And we've done a PBS segment in concert with Eastern New Mexico University about the aircraft maintenance technician program. And I've seen the videos that came out for edit for us just this past week, and they look pretty good. And so I'm anxious to get that out, not only to people outside of our community, but people inside of Chaves County. I'm going to explain that. When I speak to young people, when I have the opportunity to, it's kind of difficult right now, but when young people I have found in Chaves County do not know the resources we have in our county to help them be successful in their future, like that aircraft maintenance technician program. This video is a great source that we can provide the schools throughout our county about that program and those types of programs we have right here to think about a career. For me, it's so selfish. I look at it from a workforce development perspective. How can we develop the workforce that we need so I can attract talent, that talent, to attract the companies to come here? So it's a double-edged sword for us, and I think it's a good piece. I think it's a great double-edged sword. So the videos, we're going to actually do 2 more videos that we're having produced by a company, a local company. One is on agriculture and our resources in agriculture that we can send to consultants, and also one on our air center, because of the work that we've done, that you've done, towards making our air center here in Roswell, Chaves County, be a better place. So that's kind of what we're up to. The most important thing is we're visiting people in our county, feeling the pulse and seeing what's going on. And what I heard this morning, there's a lot of concerns out there. There's a lot of concerns in our small business community. We're concerned with that, and like the chamber, we'll continue to help and support them any way we can. One of the issues that I've been working on recently is about the unemployment insurance issue, and I think you're probably aware of that. If you're not, I will get a paper to you that I just received last night. And I'm concerned, more importantly, that there's legislation involved that we'll need to get our state folks somewhat involved with it. As we reopen Chaves County, for small business, the unemployment insurance rates are going to be quite high. And as a result, we may have businesses that will consider not only reopening their doors because they won't be able to afford to pay their unemployment insurance to meet the payroll of those employees. That's a problem. And it's a several $100 billion problem in the state of Mexico. So I'll share that with you directly after some time for your knowledge. Other than that, that's what we're doing. This is January. It's going by pretty quick. We are working towards some virtual site selection activities. As I mentioned one this morning, we have several others. We have about 6 more that we have set up through the New Mexico Partnership, where we talk to consultants virtually online and tell them the story about Chaves County. Do I have any questions from you, Mr. Chairman, or any of the commissioners?
Commissioner? Mike, let me just say thank you. I know it's about 15 months since you stepped into the role as the head of the EDC for Chaves County and the city of Roswell, and I appreciate everything you've done. And that, I know it seems like a short amount of time, but it probably seemed like an eternity for you so far. Want to give a lot of credit for the work that you've done and the $5 million that the city council passed to get that MOU done so that we can get busy doing infrastructure out of the air center. I know that there's probably some questions as to why the county commission is not taking a vote on that, but that's something that is the city manager and the county manager signing off on that MOU to start moving forward with obligating those funds and getting moving with that. So with the city manager having signed off on it, I know Bill has signed off and we're ready to proceed and keep from losing those funds. So I know the EDC and Senator Jennings and a lot of people have played a part in getting us to this point to where we can move forward with that. As far as the Ascent project, I hope that Ascent Western finally get together and break ground and get going with that project out there, because I think it's going to be huge for Chaves County, City of Roswell, southeastern New Mexico. And that's just going to be one of those deals that when they open up, I think that's going to create a flood of others that are going to be looking to come to the air center and to start a business out there. So I know you're prepared for that. Get this infrastructure going over to the east side of the airport. That's going to give us more opportunity zones for businesses to really take a look at City of Roswell Air Center and Chaves County. So I'm just very happy that we're headed in the right direction, and that I hope that this will be a good start of the city and the county working together to do great things and make a difference for this community. Lawrence Fishburne, I think that's awesome. I think, Mike, that if we could get Mike Rowe to come in here and do something with our, vocational programs and stuff, and do a show, a video, something of that nature, I think that would be something else that would really put our university and this community on the map as being open to educating and providing those vocational skills and training, and have kids from around the country that would want to come here to do that. So if the county, if you could put something like that together, we need to pony up some funds for getting in here to do something like that. Don't hesitate to pick up that phone and call Bill. And if we can make that happen, I think that would make a huge deal, would be a huge deal for this community. I think everybody up here knows who Mike Rowe is, and everybody out there, but, if you you watched the show when he first became kind of popular, the Dirty Jobs guy. And he's got a great message for our youth in this country right now. So that can happen. Like I said, don't hesitate to pick up that phone and make that call. So.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and it's been a pleasure to serve this county. 15 months, or I haven't counted, but sure. But, and I think, I believe that your leadership, and I've said it before, and so have others, the county doesn't work unless it has great leadership. Thanks for your servant leadership to the people who live here and your partnership with EDC, because at least I should say it that way, but I think you understand the value of partnering and teaming together as people to make good examples for the people that choose to live here in Chaves County, and we'll do our part to continue to inform you of our activities, more importantly on how we'll continue to team together and partner together to make great things happen. Very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, commissioners, just curiosity, you guys want to take like a 5-minute break to stretch your legs before we actually get started in these 2 hearings and then with the agenda? Or are you guys ready to just go ahead and move forward?
Rock and roll.
All right, let's do it.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 1 is a public hearing on the question of whether a property tax rebate benefiting low-income property taxpayers in the county should be made available through an adoption of the county ordinance. As y'all are aware, according to section 7-2-14.3G of MSA 1978, in every odd numbered year, the Board of County Commissioners shall conduct a public hearing on the question of whether a property tax rebate benefiting low-income property taxpayers in the county should be made available through the adoption of the county ordinance. The problem with this rebate to low-income property taxpayers is twofold. First, who actually qualifies as low income? The procedure to qualify is set out in section 7-2-14 of NMSA 1978. However, it's based upon New Mexico income tax returns and could possibly be manipulated. The second issue revolves around the tax itself. The taxes are not forgiven. The tax burden is simply shifted to the county to pay until an election occurs and the voters decide whether to impose a 1 mil property tax increase for the taxes which have been rebated. In addition, this does not rebate state or school taxes, bond levies, etc. It only rebates the county and city portions of the property tax. The staff recommends denial of creating an ordinance, and this public hearing has been properly advertised. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, this is a public hearing, and so we're going to open the floor to anybody out there in the audience. Are we running this on Facebook or anything? Okay. If you out there in the audience that is for this tax rebate, if there's anybody out there who would like to speak in favor of this ordinance or this rebate, anybody for this? Anybody out there for this? Do we have anybody online who'd like to speak or for this?
Not at this point.
I apologize, what was that, Elise?
Not at this point.
Not at this point. All right, we'll give our technology just a little bit longer. I don't see anybody here in the audience that wants to speak in favor of this. Going once, going twice. All right, anybody in opposition of this tax? Well, I guess is what I would call it. Anybody in opposition of it? Anybody in the audience in opposition of it? Anybody online that is in opposition of it?
No, sir.
Nobody online. Nobody in favor, nobody in opposition. All right, we're going to close the hearing. Commissioners, any comments, discussion or comments on this?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Zell?
I move we enact no ordinance pursuant to 7-2-14.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Zell and a second by Commissioner Bill not to enact this property tax rebate benefiting low-income property taxpayers. Any further questions or discussions? I guess this is according to section 7-2-14.3G. Any further questions or discussion? All of those in favor of not enacting this, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, same sign. That's unanimously not to enact this. Agenda item 2, Bill, is that you also?
No, that'll be Lewis.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Before you, agenda number 2 is permission to advertise and notice a public hearing for the rural addressing system ordinance number O-108. The public hearing is to be held on the regular scheduled Chavez County Board of Commissioners meeting on February 18th, 2021. The notice will contain the date, location of the hearing, title of the ordinance, and general summary of the proposed ordinance as required by NMSA 4-37-7. The notice will be advertised 2 weeks prior to the public hearing in the local newspaper and on our Chavez County Facebook page. Copies of the proposed ordinance shall be available online at our chavezcounty.gov site, Chavez County Facebook page, and in our office at the Chavez County Planning and Zoning Department. The purpose of this ordinance is to repeal and replace current ordinance number 19, the Chavez County Rural Addressing Revision number 1, with a new rural addressing system that would utilize a comprehensive and simplistic process for assigning addresses and new road names within the unincorporated area of Chavez County for the health, safety, and wellness of Chavez County residents. A rural addressing system within Chavez County is vital. It is assisting public safety for the citizens, including the 911 emergency, enhanced mail and package delivery, provide accurate and obtainable addresses for primary structures, and maintain an ongoing rural addressing system that we have.
Commissioners, any questions for Lewis?
Mr. Chairman, Lewis, will this help UPS find my house? My wife was on the phone. My wife was on the phone this morning with UPS. You've been trying to get a package delivered for 10 days.
That is the ultimate goal. Also to help 911 emergency. And during our census, we found that a huge number of residents don't post their addresses anywhere. And you could go down a road and probably half a mile and not find an address anywhere. And it makes it difficult for many of us, including us that are not law enforcement who are out inspecting. If we see something suspicious, we don't know what the address is. We just know what road it is, and now we have to sit there and describe where we're at. It does. So overall idea is to make it simplistic and ask our citizens to please post your address. We will provide that information. We will provide the numbers, the post signs, the metal, everything that is necessary. And so in our current ordinance, we don't describe all that. In this one, we would.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Zell.
I move we authorize the advertisement of the notice of public hearing for rural addressing system ordinance number O-108.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Zell and a second by Commissioner Taylor to go ahead and approve and permit the advertisement of the notice of public hearing for rural addressing system ordinance O-108. Any further questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. That's unanimously. Ms. Sandra.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Agenda item number 3, approval of ratification, addendum number 1 for agreement 19-026 between Chavez County Utility Associates. Staff is requesting ratification of addendum number 1 between Chavez County and Utility Associates in the amount of $177,271.89 for a 4-year lease. 19 lapel cameras have been purchased under governor's mandate and was effective January 1st of 2021. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions about the governor's mandate that's unfunded on our county?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Zell?
did we find out anything from the Association of Counties as to whether there is a legislative effort to fund this unfunded mandate?
I think they're pushing for it, but I don't think they have much hope in it.
Well, I move we ratify amendment number 1 between Chavez County and Utility Associates in the amount of $177,271.89
Second. Wait,
for the lease of the lapel cameras.
second.
Under duress. I have a motion by Commissioner Zell and a second by Commissioner Bilberry to approve agenda item 3, agreement A-19-026. This is the ratification of addendum number 1 between Chavez County and Utility Associates Incorporated to the tune of $177,271.89 for this unfunded mandate by the governor's office. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Senator.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 4 is for resolutions R-21-001 as Part A, and resolution R-21-002 as Part B. And this is our annual resolutions that we have to pass in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. The Commission is required to publish a notice of public hearings each year. The attached resolutions, if approved, would establish commission meetings once monthly and the Indigent Healthcare Hospital Board meetings quarterly on the 3rd Thursday of the month with IHC at 8:30 a.m. and the commission at 9 a.m. and staff recommends.
Commissioners, any questions for Bill?
Can we pass them both at the same time?
I believe so,
Okay.
Commissioner Bilberry.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend we pass resolution R-21001 and resolution R-21002 for the public meetings for Chavez County. It'd be for the Board Commission and the Indigent Healthcare.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Bilberry and a second by Commissioner Zell to approve agenda item 4, A, resolution R-21-001, which is notice for public meetings for the Chavez County Board of Commissioners. And agenda item 4B, which is resolution R-21-002, notice for public meetings for Chavez County Indigent Hospital Healthcare Board. Any questions or discussions on these? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Agenda item 5. Ms. Lucia.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Agenda item number 5 is resolution R-21-003, which is a deletion of property and proposed disposition. Your approval of this resolution will allow staff to remove the attached inventory. The CH-55 rotary cutter head will be donated to the Hagerman-Dexter Soil and Water Conservation District. Exhibit A has the assets listed. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Lucia?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of resolution R-2103 and deletion of property and proposed disposition.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
A motion by Commissioner Bilberry and a second by Commissioner Dana to approve agenda item 5, resolution R-21-003 for deletion of property and proposed disposition. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lucia. Ms. Annabelle.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Agenda item number 6 is Resolution R-21-004, which is an approval of a budget adjustment. We have reviewed the variances and we have talked about pressing projects during our mid-year adjustments with the Finance Committee. And so we're presenting before you budget adjustments for line items that are in Exhibit A. These are for various items like the PRC grant, professional service contracts, personnel expenses, the sheriff lapel cameras, which was just presented, transport vans, and the CARES paid administration reimbursements. Staff does recommend approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Annabelle?
Mr. Chair, I move approval of resolution R-21-004 for the budget adjustment.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
That'd be Commissioner D or Commissioner T?
Doesn't matter.
All right,
Pick a commissioner.
give it to Commissioner Taylor. All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Zell, a second by Commissioner Taylor to approve agenda item 6 is resolution R-21-004, approval of budget adjustment. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Annabelle.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 7 is resolution R-21-005, which would be for approving the upgrade of the healthcare director position. This resolution, if approved, would upgrade the healthcare director position on the executive chart H. The chief financial officer desires to add the functions of the internal auditor to this position. This is necessary due to all of the new requirements imposed regarding the audit and financial reporting to the state. Staff recommends the approval of resolution R-21-005. Annabelle, I will try to answer your question mostly.
Commissioners, any questions for Bill? As Commissioner Corman would say, what's your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend we pass resolution 7R-21-005 approving the upgrade to the healthcare director position.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Bill Berry and a second by Commissioner Zell to approve agenda item 7, resolution R-21-005, approving the upgrade of the healthcare director position. Commissioners, any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 8 is the appointment of the New Mexico County Insurance Authority voting member as the alternate. The New Mexico County Insurance Authority will hold its annual meeting in January 2021. Chaves County needs to appoint a voting member and alternate. Staff has requested Mr. Tim Salazar, Safety and Compliance Manager, be appointed as a voting member. He would basically be moving up as our alternate after Mr. Lefto retired. Mr. Salazar, of course, will be replacing him. And in addition, staff has requested that Ms. Susan Goldstrom be appointed as the alternate voting member on that. Recommend.
Commissioners, any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend that we approve the appointment of the New Mexico County Insurance Authority voting member and alternate as stated in your request.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Bilberry and a second by Commissioner Zell to approve agenda item 8. And it's the appointment of the Mexico County Insurance Authority, voting member being Tim Salazar and alternate being Ms. Susan Goldstrom. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 9 is requesting permission to submit the 2021-2022 annual EMS Fund Act applications and service reports on behalf of Barindo, Midway, and Sierra Volunteer Fire Departments. As you know, Elise does a lot of work to help them get this done, and we are requesting approval for their applications this year.
Commissioners, any questions for Bill on that?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve for 2021-2022 annual EMS Fund Act application and services report on behalf of Barindo, Midway, and Sierra Volunteer Fire Departments.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Zell for agenda item 9, which is the approval for the 2021-2022 annual EMS Fund Act applications and service reports on behalf of the Barindo, Midway, and Sierra, on behalf of Barindo, Midway, and Sierra Volunteer Fire Departments. Any further questions or discussions on agenda 9? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Okay.
Sheriff Mike Harrington.
All right. So, I'm here to, first let me say good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Glad to be here. Also, if you're hearing any rumors that I'm in the emergency room with COVID, that is my dad, who also has the same name as me. But
So you're a junior?
I am a junior, yes. So, and then my grandson's the third. So, that's good. Keep it going. But, yeah, he's in there. He's doing well. He just is a precaution because he had open heart surgery. It had, it's just a precaution for the pneumonia side of things. So, he's doing very well though.
We'll keep you guys in our prayers.
Thank you.
That's not bad.
So, the action requested is the approval and ratification of out-of-state travel from the Chaves County Sheriff's Office deputy to send one of its employees to a police K-9 handler course in Liberty Hill, Texas, on January the 3rd, 2021 to January 18, 2021. The training is presented by Pacesetter K-9 LLC and consists of 80 hours of training in K-9 safety, care for a K-9, obedience training, maximizing the impact of drug scent evidence and narcotics detection. The registration fee for this course is $8,000, which includes a single-purpose trained narcotics K-9. Lodging and per diem will cost approximately $1,890 for the 14 days of training. The cost of this training, as well as the per diem, will be taken out of the $15,000 donation received on October 29, 2020. There will be no cost to Chaves County for this travel. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions for the sheriff?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Bilberry?
I recommend approval of the ratification of out-of-state travel for the sheriff's office.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Bilberry and a second by Commissioner Zell to approve agenda item 10, which is ratification of out-of-state travel for the sheriff's office. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Thank you, Sheriff.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Commissioner Taylor, are you gonna spend money today?
You got thrown under the bus.
First day on the job,
It's good to be back here on the county commission. I sure look forward to working with the commission here and all the staff. I know from past experience, the county is very fortunate to have a great staff. It's changed a little bit from when I was on the commission before. There are still some familiar faces and even the new faces. I look forward to working with all of you and a very interesting year ahead of us. Thank you.
so you're gonna make a motion to approve, checks for
Oh,
today?
I thought you wanted to come.
Yeah, we're
No, we want money.
You got to make a speech. Now you have to make a motion.
Now you gotta make a
I will
motion.
make a motion to approve checks in the amount of $3,212,674.85.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion by Commissioner Taylor and a second by Commissioner Dana to approve checks for the amount of $3,212,674.85. Any discussion about this amount of money?
Is that about the most we've ever had to approve?
It's more than most of the time in quite a while, so. Seeing no further questions or discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, same sign, passes unanimously. Approval of reports.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend we approve reports.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Bilberry and a second by Commissioner Dana to approve the reports. Any discussion, questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. So real quick, typically we would go right into unscheduled communications, but unfortunately, I skipped the presentation from Ms. Rita at the front end of this deal. So Ms. Rita, if you can give us a presentation on what the heck you're doing with Keep Chaves County Beautiful. And then so get it all in now, because when 3 minutes comes up, you don't get to talk then.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. All right, let me tell you, right now, I'm Rita Kane Dorhofer. I am only the treasurer of Keep Chaves County Beautiful. I am the educational director. I am the litter director. I am the youth employment director of Keep Chaves County Beautiful. And I do have some handouts for you. All right, make sure that Cindy gets one and make sure that Annabelle gets one. All right.
Done.
Thank you. We have spent no money this year. We have to spend our money by mid-May because George needs to do our end of year report, which is the same time as the finance department. And I worked with Joe, and I know I'm going to be able to work with Annabelle in getting this done. So if you don't flip to page 2, Dick, wait, get on page 1 so you know what we're doing. We have a total of $11,550 to spend. All right, we have no money in goal 1, no money in goal 2. Goal 3, we have $6,500 to spend, but I have promised Keep Main Street Roswell will get $1,500 to do the pots because for some reason the city does not want to participate in that. So we have always partnered with Main Street Roswell. So $1,500 goes to them. So we only have $5,000 left in that category. Now, if you run to goal 5, the 2650, we are not sending the executive director Sean Davis anywhere this year. So We're taking that money and we got to get it journaled over so we can put it with the beautification money. So there's 5,000 and then another 2,650, $7,650 will go to beautify the county building, the courthouse, and the walkway. I have enlisted some people. Dara volunteered. George, she's not here. George was assigned, but she wants to go up also. We are going to Cooley's up in Ruidoso. They are partners with us, and we will spend $7,650 in one fell swoop. Dwayne, by the way, I met Dwayne. I don't know if he was thrilled or not thrilled, but I met Dwayne. And I kind of liked him because I told him what we were going to do, and he didn't say, well, we can do this, this, this. He said, what do you think, Miss Rita? And I loved it right away. I said, I'm just a money girl, you do it, and I will get it done. We worked with Joe West. He has said that if we do write the Lowe's grant for $20,000, and if we do get it, we can store all the stuff over at his place. I'm going to be working with Bill for garbage cans and benches and chairs or whatever we need for the walkway. The plumbing we can do, so I'm looking to do that. I have talked to the sheriff about doing a cookout when we open it, subject to all of you applying for it. You will not be spending any money. We will get regular hot dogs for everybody else and kosher hot dogs for me. The sheriff said that he would grill them, and we can just have we'll have water, and we will have a great opening of our walkway. What else? Did I forget anything? No, money for beautiful, the courthouse. As you see on page 2 and 3 that you have all been looking for, somehow I must have fallen asleep when we were writing this, because we are not going to do anything at the 4 senior centers because nobody there will water anything. So we're taking, should I say that? We cannot guarantee. Now, we can do a couple of the fire departments. But they said that they would water. Now, you're looking at goal 4, $2,400. There is no way that Santa Fe is going to let me move that money over into beautification. I don't know what their problem is, but I may have to go up there and chat with them. But anyway, $2,400 we can use as partner money, and they have to be youth. I've already contacted several groups. Number 1, I have gotten the Boy Scouts. Bobby Arnett said that they would do anything I want. You get Bobby, you hook Dick with them, and you hook Dick's wife too. So we can do 1 or 2 projects with them. Then I have Tim Fuller, our illustrious county clerk. Her husband said he can do 2 for me. So I mean, I am spending money. I have got to spend this money. Also, All Saints School said that they would do a cleanup for me. Lutheran, thank you. They will do things for me. And the assisting said that they would do things for me for $400 a time, so I can eat up all of that $2,400. If you know of any projects, I do know at our ETZ meeting, one of the members, not me, said that she contacted the mayor, your mayor, since I live in the county, except for Billberry, we live in the county. There was some trash that is way south of town. Oh, you live in the county too.
Thank you.
Yes, you live in the county too. And,
Don't forget Commissioner Dean, she was the county officer.
that's right. Okay, we all live in the county. But he made a big thing out about, no, that is county. They are not going to pick up the trash out there. So if we can get a group, I need at least 15 youth. And that means that they have to be under 18 youth to do that for us. I can give them $400 and then they don't have to sell candy and whatever. All right, So I'm finished with this report. Well, you know, if I give them $400, Commissioner Cavan, they don't have to sell the candy bars or whatever they're going to sell. This is practically free money for maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours worth of work.
Not in disagreements with you on that, I'm just curious as to whether or not the correctional facility is back in using some of their folks to watch.
I asked Lucy about that. No, they're not. And I can't pay them to do that. But I'd rather pay the youth because, you know, right now they have no socialization, and that's my big thing. And I've already talked to the governor again. Well, I sent her another email.
Well, I personally seen the students from All Saints that have been working out in the vacant area there.
Right.
On Washington and Mescalero, so I appreciate them doing that. I'm assuming that that's part of your plan.
Yes, we work with them. We do the, for the education, I go out to some of these schools and I teach them. Yes, and they like me. They like for me to come out. They like the order, they like the discipline. They're not too thrilled about the whistle I blow, but they do like the cookies. We try to get the youth and we try to educate them at the same time, and that's what we do. Now, to talk about my 3 minutes or, do you have any questions?
No. I just convinced you.
I have a question.
Yes.
You had talked about the Lowe's grant. Did we get the Lowe's?
No, we don't know if they're going to do it or not, but I have talked Sean, and that was a lot of arm twisting to, if they do the Lowe's grant, to ask for the Lowe's grant for the parkway, and I'll be working with the people who are involved in that. That's usually Dwayne and Bill, and we don't have to have finance pull down the money because it comes right into our account. The only thing that we really need to use, and we don't abuse it, is Joe's facility, that we can put all these things, download them, like we did with the Midway Fire Department when we got all the things coming in. And we don't know if they're gonna get a Lowe's grant, but we are really high up on the chain with Keep America Beautiful, because we do what we say and we say what we do, and we do it well. We take pictures, we write reports. Now, one more thing that, by the way, I'm Rita King Dorhofer from Very Narrow Unstriped Mark Road, and you all know that you can't get in on Mark Road, you have to come in on Xanadu. When I was baking this morning, thank you so much, Bill and county commissioners, for letting me use some county personnel to be taste testers for me of my baked goods. I'm sorry, you're okay?
Can't keep up with you.
Cindy, I got you recorded, so you're good.
Oh, right. As I was baking today, you're not gonna believe it, my hand mixer died. Why it died on me, but I not only have one, I not only have two, I have 3 spares. What happens if one of our sheriffs gets sick and he can't be with the dog? Don't you think we maybe have to have a backup? You don't think we need a backup?
No,
Who else can handle the dog? Who else is gonna be in that training?
you just have to have him.
The dog?
No, the dog and the trainer have to be one.
Have to be one, so you
So if the
can't.
dog is sick, he's sick. If he's sick, the dog's sick.
All right, Rita, you're burned in.
I'm done. I'm done. Does anybody have any more questions about what Keep Chaves County is going to, Keep Chaves County Beautiful will do? We're going to write another grant in March for more money. So we have to spend this money and then we get more money and we will spend it.
You need to spend some time talking with Commissioner Taylor. I know he's a scout troop leader and stuff, or part of the Boy Scouts. I bet they would be all over.
Of course, he's with Bobby Arnett, and therefore I've already hooked Bobby.
I apologize.
That's okay, I hooked Bobby, and
You're all over it.
well, of course, because I have to spend this money. Thank you all.
Mr. Chairman, Annabelle, do we have any more CARES Act to get her a mixer? Does that fall under CARES Act? Cookies are care, aren't they?
Okay, before we get into communications, Annabelle, would you give us kind of a little synopsis update on the gross receipts?
Yes, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. I did hand it out, and I also emailed the SWAY report. I know whenever this report gets printed, the numbers get a little bit blurry, but we did receive our gross receipts on Friday. We had such a hard time finding the report itself. Currently, the Taxation and Revenue Department is revamping their website. So it's actually in a different location. So I apologize for the tardiness of my report. But I did send it out yesterday. Comparing from last fiscal year to this fiscal year, we do have a 7.92% decrease. So as we kind of discussed before, we kind of see that happening still for the next couple of months. And our whole farm list is also down about 19.26%. So that appears that it will phase out by 2029 as the state had promised. Now, in comparison to our budget variance of what we budgeted to what we actually received year to date, we are at a 6.22% positive. And that's thanks to the Finance Committee and projecting out that we might have a cutback on gross receipts. We weren't quite sure what the impact would be with this COVID, but we did cut back about 10% of the projected gross receipts. So thanks to that due diligence, we are in a positive variance. So that is a good thing. Now, the biggest decrease of activity for the month of November was retail trade. That was down about $4.6 million. And the one following that was the food industry and accommodation. And that was about, it was I apologize, these are kind of blurry the way that they printed out, but that was the second biggest decrease for the industry.
We have another font problem.
Yes. So I know it's kind of blurry, but if you notice on the graph, on the table, very last table, there's more reds than blacks. So that's a big decrease in most of our industries. So that is a little bit concerning. But we do have, of course, that internet sales that has been coming in. I'm not sure if there's any more talk about it in the legislature this week, but that's as far as the report I have for those receipts.
Commissioners, any questions, discussion for Annabelle?
Just you are taking note as to any bills, because who knows what they're going to put forth in the 60-day session.
Yes, I have been trying to keep up with that, and I know I've been receiving emails from some of the affiliates, so I haven't seen anything right now, as of right now, for the grocery receipts, but I am trying to keep up with that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, thank all. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our unscheduled communications. Limited to 3 minutes per visitor and shall not exceed a total of 15 minutes. No formal action be taken by commission.
Good morning again, Chairman, Commissioners. Louis Jaramillo, 1301 Hall Drive. The U.S. Census has informed us that their numbers should be out at the latest by April 1st. They have begun sending us some possible corrections with the boundary lines, but our boundary lines are never going to change because that takes a whole state approval up in Santa Fe because we're a county, we can't adjust. The one I'm looking for is when we start dealing with corrections to addresses, adjustments to addresses. If those structures actually exist, I'll be spending the next 9 years trying to verify all of that. So, yeah, it'll be a challenge. But it makes it easier come 2030 for the Census Bureau to come in. But again, it should be April 1st. If we hear a report, if you get your report sooner than that, then it is a blessing. And as you know, with the executive order that was signed yesterday, all citizens within the United, or all residents within the United States will be counted. There was that difference in, supposedly that was holding it up. I don't know if that's true or not. So we'll see.
Any anticipation, just a quick question. Numbers, what do you see?
Hopefully 68, 69, County.
All right, Louis, thank you. You coming to talk or spray?
I'm coming to talk this time. My name's Elise Klein, 2303 West Burrendale Road. As most of you guys know, Travis County Cancer Fund and Walk for Hope is very near and dear to my heart. This year, we have taken a hit as well due to COVID. We were not able to have our typical Walk for Hope, which also meant we did not have our normal and typical amount of donations come in to help the local Travis County residents who are battling cancer and going through chemo, loss of work due to their cancer diagnosis. So Travis County Cancer Fund has now joined up with the city of Roswell. They are our friends this time. And the Parks and Rec Department. They actually came to us and asked us they want to put on a polar plunge, Plunge for Hope. So it's going to be called the 2021 Polar Plunge for Hope. It'll be Saturday, February 20th from 10 to 12 at the rec center. It'll be $10 participant. There's also going to be some sort of buyout if somebody recommends you take the plunge. There'll be a buyout option if you don't want to take the plunge. I'm asking if you guys will help participate or help push this on your personal Facebook pages, as this is very near and dear to my heart. The Travis County Cancer Fund is in dire need of funds, where we are going to run out of funds and not be able to help Travis County residents. And that is not what we want. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody online that's wishing to comment or anything?
Yes, sir.
All right. Joe West, any words of wisdom? No? Mike, you got anything to add? You've had a busy day, already busy 2021, so appreciate you guys. All right, anybody else out there wanting to speak? Anybody else want to speak? All right. Bill Williams.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, a couple of things. First, I'm really thankful that Joe West is with us. He had a life-changing event a couple of weeks ago. I just want to say I'm glad you're here and helping you doing well and moving forward with that. Kind of on not a similar note, but I also noticed in today's obituaries that one of our previous road department employees had passed away. That's Julius Goodart. And I know that the road department had a real bond with him, and just want to pass along our sympathy to them. I want to thank the Finance Committee for meeting with us last week and helping us to formulate our mid-year budget adjustments and to help us to work through some of the things that are upcoming and figuring out how best to proceed. Just really appreciative of you guys. Very excited to have a new commissioner on board. I think it's pretty nifty that he's already experienced it all, and I just want to use the words of Rita, I'll be in touch. So, I want to thank Keep Travis County Beautiful. They've given a lot of time and energy and monies to helping us make all of our buildings look good. And I'm really excited they're going to be working with us on the trail and trying to find that sweet spot between too much maintenance and a beautiful trail. I think that they're really keeping that in mind and going to make this a showpiece for this part of our city and community. I'm looking forward to hearing from the ERD about COVID, and I want to thank Jimmy for figuring out how to get them to come down. That'll be a task, and I'm glad that he said he would do that for us. Really excited about the new Chamber magazine that's going to be highlighting our agricultural community, because as you guys know, that's where my heart is, and that's the community is our agriculture and our agriculturalism. I wanted to give a shout out to the IT department. As you guys know, we've been working on trying to come into at least the 20th century, if not the 21st, and they've got new cameras in here that are really nifty the way it all works. The sound system, you know, they've got a few minor sound issues to work out, but I was pretty excited that the volume is real consistent and everything, but they've worked real hard to get that done. And it's all state-of-the-art stuff. It's no longer 25-year-old analog and stuff that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Like I said, I know we'll have a few kinks to work out, but really excited to have this state-of-the-art stuff that they've worked on for us. Want to thank all the county staff who've been encouraging to me and have worked so hard to help me adapt to the new county manager position. I appreciate all you guys. You guys are what makes the county work. So thank you, and my part's pretty easy with you guys backing me up. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. All right, we're going to start over. Commissioner Taylor, any comments?
Okay, again, it's great to be back on the county commission. One of the comments I'd like to make is Rita talked about her various programs and having the Boy Scouts involved. Yes, I'm involved with the Boy Scouts along with Bobby Arnett. Of course, our major problem is we got to get past this virus. Because the Boy Scouts has been virtually shut down except for virtual meetings. And that's pretty difficult to go on a camping trip that's virtual. So we need to get back open. And I know that the Scouts would love to help Rita or any project because they get service hours, which helps towards their advancement. So we're hoping for openings up soon so we can get the Boy Scouts going again. Again, I'm happy to be back. I look forward to serving on the commission, and I know the staff here is great to work with. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Taylor. Just real quick, you and Bobby could go out on a camping trip, and wish you guys could be here virtually. Anyway, all right, Commissioner D.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is challenging times. I do think Jimmy Masters from the Department of Health office, it's nice to have them come in. And Mr. Chairman, I'm just kind of wondering if we should draft a letter to kind of help the department, maybe be able to present, or we present to Santa Fe, with our concerns, and maybe that will help them. I don't know, I think it's time that the counties kind of step up to the plate and start pushing Santa Fe on some of this stuff. So maybe we can kind of work on that too. Mr. Chairman, I just want to say, look around the staff that's in here today. Look at our diverse female leaders that we have in Chaves County. I think it's wonderful to see here in Chaves County the group of ladies that are leaders of this county that are here helping us and moving this county forward. I think it's wonderful to see. So I thank you, ladies. I think it's wonderful. We have a great group of staff here in Chaves County and a great group of people that help all of us and advise us and keeps our commission going. So thank you. I look forward to 2021, and hopefully we can open up our county, our state, keep our businesses going, and the youth of our county. We've got to step it up and get our schools open and get these kids back on track. We're losing too many, as we have seen, and it's time to quit playing the game and move forward. And hopefully, with the help of us up here, we can kind of push Santa Fe a little bit in that direction. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner D. Commissioner Zell.
I will be brief because we've got a lot more to do.
Yes.
Congratulations to the Sheriff's Department on their new member. And following up on what Commissioner Dana said, it's a lot easier to look over at that desk now without Joe and Bill sitting there. So, and just I just want to thank everybody for their hard work, and that's all I have.
Commissioner Zell, thank you. Commissioner Bilberry.
Just to reflect everything else that everyone said, thank everyone for their hard work. I do thank Jimmy Masters for coming. I think we need to get him more involved as local, and we need to keep pushing. We don't need to give up on this, and everybody that's involved in this needs to keep him. And I know he's got a tough job, but anyway, thank everyone, all of you, for all your hard work. Welcome, Dick. Looking forward to working with you. That's all we got.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Just real quick, I would say thank you to the commissioners for believing in me to continue as the chair of this awesome county board of commissioners. I appreciate it, and I look forward to serving another year. Still got a lot of things on our plate to get after and be aware of. To Commissioner D's deal with Jimmy and the state, we tried to put these big screen TVs up so that we could have a virtual meeting with Secretary Kunkel, and that never came to fruition. And it's not without a lack of effort to try and get them to come talk to us. Hopefully Jimmy and maybe some others, we can persuade Santa Fe to actually come talk to us and open up and help us get to where we need to be. I know that the newly in-office president has decided that he is going to pass an executive order to open our schools back up and get everybody back into school. I'm going to be interested to see how that comes to fruition, because I know we've had a lot of battles over the last 4 years on how you can't do this and how you can do that and all these other things. But I hope that he gets that accomplished, because we need to get our kids back into school. That's and I know there's a lot of states that already have their kids back in school, but we don't here in the state of New Mexico. And so we got to get back on the fields, on the courts, in the classroom, and the fact of the matter is that it's, for them, it's a very depressing and bad situation for them not to be able to have that social interaction with their fellow classmates and fellow teammates and things of that nature. Thank you to everybody. I'd say it every meeting, and you guys have yet to make me think, what's going on? Everybody's awesome. Our whole county, everybody in this county, one great big family, and everybody is appreciated for the hard work, jobs they do to make things run smoothly. Bill, got your time in right now. It's the county manager doing a great job. And thank you for moving forward with Joe Neb to get us headed in the right direction on that MOU for the airport funds. One big note before we take a motion to go into closed session. HB4, put that on your radar, folks. House Bill 4. That is the bill that Representative Egoff he's on a full court press to get this bill passed. And you say, well, what's in HB4? Well, we've already passed a resolution as a county, and as part of this Civil Rights Commission deal that will rip the lid off the can for these lawsuits and take the lid off of it. And I know I've said it once, I'll say it again. If they pass this deal, it will be a financial death sentence to all of our local governments, from school districts to municipalities, to counties, you name any local government. It will be a true wrecking ball if they pass that bill. In our New Mexico counties meeting yesterday, there was a lot of discussion about it. Everybody in this state, as an elected official, should be calling their legislators and saying, not no, but you can't pass that bill. It will be a total financial wrecking ball for every local government in the state. So, if you got any influence up in Santa Fe, I know we don't have a lot of power up there right now, but boy, I would think that everybody, it doesn't matter whether you're Republican or Democrat or Libertarian, whatever it is, you gotta see this thing for what it is, and it will be very destructive to the state. So with that being said, can I have a motion for us to go into closed session?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Zell.
I move that pursuant to section 10-15-1H and various subparts, that the Board of County Commissioners of Chaves County go into closed session for the discussion of personnel matters, the disposition of real property, and to discuss threatened or pending litigation, and that no action will be taken.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Zell and a second by Commissioner Bilberry to go into closed session pursuant to section 10-15-1 H2 NMSA 1978 personal matters. And this is to discuss personal matters, disposition of real property, discuss threat or pending litigation. No action will be taken. The city, roll call.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor? Yes. Commissioner Zell?
Yes, but we're not going to discuss personal matters. It's personnel.
Personnel, excuse me. I apologize.
Commissioner Bilber?
Yes.
And Commissioner Cavanaugh?
Come on.
I couldn't let you pass on that one.
Yes. Thank you, Commissioner Zell. All right, we will return to close the meeting minutes, sign documents. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Oh.